So it's November 2018. I have been working on my new album, well, several new albums for a while actually, but 7 is probably the one that's going to come out next, and it's sort of in the mixing stage at the moment. I'm not mixing it here. It's being mixed over at Orchard Studios, which has been sort of rebuilt and moved since we actually did the recording on the album, so that's sort of taking place elsewhere. But today I'm just going through a few of the different pre-master tracks just to check things through, and thought I'd just share a few of them with you. So first one we're going to take a look at is Northbound Winds. This is going to be the first single, hopefully out January, all being well. There's a couple of different mixes on there, one being single mix, one being the album mix. The main difference is the album mix, if I just turn this up, starts like this.
1, 2, 3, 7.
And so on. 1, 2, 3, 7. If you can work out which album I nicked that kind of idea off, then that's all good. Not one of mine, but it's different words in theirs. So let's have a little listen to it. We've got the single version. Let's have a little listen to the first bit on there and see what we think.
Starting to try, watch it fall to the horizon, waiting for those northbound winds. Minds made up on other things, going back on what you relies on. I see nothing there when there's nothing to see. It's the way that it goes, it's the way for you.
So that's a bit of Northbound Winds. That's the single version. It's probably going to, well, is going to be the first track on the album 7, and also most likely to be the first single, probably out in January. Let's have a look at a couple of the other ones though. I'm not sure how this is going to come out. It's been recorded just on an iPhone, played out through the studio computer, so I'm not sure how it's going to sound, but hopefully okay. Let's have a listen to Another Passenger. This again is going to be in a couple of different mixes, probably a later single. The idea is to have 7 different singles from the album 7. There's going to be a lot of 7s involved in this album, I'm thinking. Not 7 tracks on it in total, there's 14 maybe? I'm not entirely sure. But 7 singles is the idea, released throughout the next year. This one I think is the single mix of it, which is just a slightly different order. Something that's going to be a middle 8 on the album version is turned into a chorus on the single version. Let's have a little listen.
Another passenger, I love far too late. Whatever happened to forever, always. I need to understand the way that you feel, like a coincidence repeated. It's your dream coming real, but it's not how I feel. It's your moment in time, not considering mine.
So that's Another Passenger. That's part of the single mix. So the bit that you heard there is going to be the middle 8 on the main album version, but it's turned into the chorus on the single version. I've got various cats here, by the way. I want to say hello. That's Stinky there. This is Simon. So they hang around, get in the way occasionally. Let's have a look at Daylight. This one I'm not convinced by the first line that I sing in this one. Not the words, just the way that I sing it, so I might redo that. So I will wind that forward for want of a better page. You don't really wind when it's not taped, do you? But you know what I mean. I'll move it forward. Start it around there.
My one, my only daylight, and the sun, your moon, they need you like the daylight. To eclipse the star, you took my only daylight.
Yeah, if we could only all finish together, we'd be doing quite well there, wouldn't we? That's Daylight, and the last one I've got here, there's going to be many more songs on the album, but the last one I've got here is Moonlight. So we've got one called Daylight and one called Moonlight. Both of those were originally supposed to be on the space-themed album, The Other Side, that is also sitting on this very computer, in fact, sitting on, not quite finished. I'm not very good at finishing albums, am I? But these two, the space album turned into more of a concept album, and these two, although they were sort of inspired, in fact they were the tracks that inspired the whole space theme, they don't really fit with the story, the concept of that album anymore. So they've gone on to 7, which is more a sort of general album, just a collection of songs. So let's have a little listen to Moonlight. Here we go.
Have you seen it? Can you feel it coming down tonight? It surrounds you. All the steel that's in the air tonight to excite you. And the feeling now that everything's right. One you're on now, and you're bathing in this cool moonlight. And this feeling wants to take you overboard. And this evening you've got back what you had lost. Feel it coming back tonight. Reassurance that it's gonna be right. With the guidance of the satellite and the comfort of this pale moonlight.
So that's Moonlight. What's sort of interesting in listening to these is this album is it's supposed to be very kind of raw, off and ready, I suppose, kind of almost a thrown together kind of idea. So there's no auto tune on it. It's all very sort of old school, the way that the vocals have been recorded in particular. So it's interesting listening and sort of seeing how similar it is vocally in terms of the sound of the tuning and so on to my first album, Still Alive, that I was listening to the other day, which I've not heard in ages actually. Vocally very, very different, because we're talking probably 20 years different, and just a different voice entirely really, but just in terms of the way that the way the recording was going in you sing things until it sounds right, it sounds in tune, rather than just fixing it in the mix later on. So anyway, there's a bit of a preview of the 7 album, hopefully coming out at some point next year. Hopefully Northbound Wind's the first single out in January, so we'll see what happens, and well, feel free to comment, let us know what you think. Cheers.